All right, let's jump right in. We're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest investment topics in Bangladesh, rental property. Whether you're just kind of kicking the tires on the idea or you're seriously ready to make a move, think of this as your personal playbook for turning a property into a real success.
This quote from the Bickroy blog, it just really hits home, doesn't it? For so many of us, owning property isn't just about the money. It's this deep-seated dream, a real symbol of security and accomplishment. It's all about building a future. But the big question is, how do we take that dream and turn it into a smart, profitable reality?
Okay, so let's get practical for a second. Why is real estate such a go-to, trusted investment for the long haul? I mean, beyond just making a dream come true, there are some really powerful financial reasons that make property a solid foundation for any investment plan. Let's break them down.
Let's really dig into the why here, because the numbers tell a great story. First off, you're looking at seriously high appreciation rates. On average, a property's value can jump up by 7 to 10% every single year. While that's happening, you're also getting a steady stream of passive rental income each month. Then you've got government initiatives and tax breaks that really sweeten the deal. And maybe best of all, unlike stocks, this is something real, something tangible you can actually see and touch. That gives it incredible stability and makes it a fantastic shield against inflation.
All right, so let's say you're sold on the why. The next logical question is, how? How do you actually do it? Well, there are a couple of different paths you can take to get into the real estate game, and each one has its own set of rules and rewards. So let's check out the most common ways people get started.
So this is the classic, the tried and true method. It's what pops into most people's heads when they think about real estate investing. You buy a physical property, a flat or a house, in an area where people actually want to live, and you lease it out. Simple as that. This creates a direct, reliable flow of cash every single month. It's definitely the most hands-on approach, but for many, it's also the most rewarding.
So let's be real about the pros and cons. On the plus side, you get that steady rental income, the property's value is growing in the background, and you can write off costs like maintenance on your taxes. But on the flip side, look, managing tenants can be a real challenge sometimes. You might have times when the property is sitting empty, and of course, you need a pretty hefty chunk of change for that initial investment.
But what if you don't have a huge down payment sitting around, or you just don't want the headache of being a landlord? Well, that's where REITs come into the picture. Think of it like this. You're buying a stock, but instead of buying into a company, you're buying a tiny piece of a huge portfolio of